So it's good to have everybody back. We are on episode 26 of our campaign. 26 sessions, which is pretty incredible. Last time you traveled and traversed through the mysterious ancient forest known as the Canopy and fell into quite a few number of precarious situations, including some illusionary teleportation spells that kind of took y'all for a spin, but through hard determination and deduction, you realized it was a waste of time, and you maneuvered further into the forest, fighting off some hobgoblins, and finally getting your bearings as you found the ancient kind of tram-like train known as the Windway that travels through the southern portion of the island. So you now know, as long as you travel to a southeasterly direction, you know how to exit the Canopy. But camped underneath it was a small caravan of 3 wagons with a familiar family to Dakkar known as the Parnassus. And the group of the Parnassus, they are bards who compete around the world. And you learn that they themselves are picking up stories and preparing for a grand competition that's to happen later on in a few months on the small outcropping of land between the 2 rivers of the Plastos, where there is a device known as, or a area known as the Oculus that is used as a stage. You've been told about it, and you changed a couple of niceties and stories and learned a little bit about Dakkar and where he kind of came from before the politeness and the formalities over dinner quickly turned to a coldness and more of a trying to hide a truth, as you learn that the Parnassus family has a few secrets of their own that they're not willing to share. They leave early for the night and bid you a farewell in the morning, letting you know that you have the camp to yourself and you can leave anytime you need. Before going to sleep, Voxel, you decided to do a little late night snooping and did catch 2 conversations between the sisters and the parents themselves, both alluding to some secret about Dakkar that they do know, something about his true form or what he really is, and also that they need to keep their information to themselves, knowing that whatever the parents say, the children should not share. At which point you find yourselves waking up. I believe you said you wanted to wake up early in the morning to depart.
Yeah.
So you find yourself very, very early in the morning, about 5 a.m. in the morning, waking up, and you're still cramped together in that tiny little pallet of what is a makeshift bed inside of your small little wagon. What would you like to do?
Morning, guys.
So we're just leaving. I mean, this is a nice setup.
It is, and Dakkar, you might have some unfinished business.
Yeah. I mean, what are you just gonna leave her? Or she already left? They already left.
Do y'all guys want to start a band or something?
Oh, I can't sing.
I think the finish was. I think the business was already finished. So I'd say, Dakkar, you're better off just, saying hi and bye. That's just me.
Well, I mean, Dakkar, this turned out to be your stop, so.
It's up to you.
Well, no, it's our stop, and we're on our way with Voxel to accomplish some things.
Yeah,
but you're putting this on me. Don't put this on me. You're the one that's technically, the one that runs a bunch of, past friends and families. Who don't put it on me.
Well, I mean, I've run into him twice now, so I'm sure there'll be a price.
Good things always coming through.
Good things or bad things?
Things. Good things.
But they do always come in 3s.
But feathers come in 5.
But I mean, like, the people. Like, I mean, for me, it was like, first it was Kelnis, and then it was Dakkar, and then it was Raystrom, and then Raystrom left, and now it's Vox. For me,
That's a
it's
3.
3.
Oh.
So, I mean,
I believe you.
If I
So,
can get everybody real quickly, just because I'm going to need this later on. Can I get all your passive perceptions?
18.
16.
12.
12.
Whew.
Okay, thank you. Hugh, as you awaken, feeling that exhaustion, it takes you a little bit longer than normal to pick up that there is a very faint smell of smoke of like permeating through the wood itself. There's not feeling where like you can see smoke fumes, but you do smell that something is burning.
Okay, I'm gonna relay that to whoever is closest to me and try to follow that smell as best I can.
In true Kelnis form, because I'm guessing you told me, because I think
Yeah.
we like went to bed at the same time. I'm gonna hop out of the wagon to see. I automatically assume something's burning and it's bad, so I hop out of the wagon to investigate.
Mm-hmm.
As you push open the door, there's that small little ladder. You kind of step down the few steps and you see the fire has already begun to consume the nearest wagon that is next to you. There's silence before you finally hear 2 females scream in panic as they finally realize that their cart is now burning. And as you begin to turn, before you do, you feel the blade hit against your back. I need everybody to roll an initiative, please.
Oh my god.
9.
Oh.
It's a 19.
Oh.
Hey, 23.
18.
14.
All right. I'm glad y'all said the numbers, but you gotta wait for me. Go ahead and jump on in. So let's start. We'll go in order on my screen. So Vic, Jonas.
18.
Thank you. Q, you'll be up next.
23.
Then Voxel,
19.
and last Dakkar.
14.
14. Thank you very much.
Do we need to change? Do we need to change our screen? The names on our screens.
You can if you want this time. Thank you for remembering. Alrighty. So before you actually can take action and begin to fight, you feel a sneaking stab of pain come right through you. That would be, let's see, a 20, be a 22 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Right. As out of the side, right behind you, as soon as you step, so this would be right here, stepping out, you see the flame. A figure who is waiting for you to step out jabs in a short sword and cuts right through, deep, hitting into your scales. That is going to do 1d6. That is 1 plus 3 piercing damage. I also need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no. 6.
Alrighty, we'll get to that in just a second.
Oh,
Because
dang.
you also are going to take the sneak attack damage. So that's 18, 19, 20, 25 points of piercing damage that will also go to you.
In addition to the 3.
You are going to take the poison damage,
Perfect.
which is 7d6.
Oh my god.
10, 16, 20, 22, 23 points of poison damage.
Okay, how much is that? What are we at? 20? It was 3, then 27, then 22?
Yep.
3, 27, 22. Okay, thank you. Sorry.
52.
I'm down.
As soon as you step out and you see the smoke, you begin to go, the blade hits, and you just look over, and you get a glimpse of a hooded figure before you collapse and fall down the stairs. And now we're going to jump into combat, which is going to take us to Q. You see your friend completely fall down.
Q is going to take a second to look for where this thing is, and that will be her action.
Right. Currently, you are inside the cart, so you couldn't see anything.
Oh, I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna like get out and do that.
I don't recommend that, but I can't say
Right.
anything.
So you're going to step out right there.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll a perception check.
Okay. 15.
Yep. So you see coming out as you scout around, there is a hooded figure who is holding a short sword and is like ready to lunge towards you.
Okay.
You still have more movement, and you have your bonus action.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and use my movement to go behind the cart, like on the opposite side of where the hooded figure is.
Okay.
Okay, and that's my turn.
All right, that's going to take us to Voxel.
Seeing kind of the situation, Voxel's boom instantly going to turn invisible.
All right, so Voxel goes invisible.
Mm-hmm. And he is going to let's see. He's going to try to make his way to the cart, just because he's started to become more aware of, like, you know, stuff is burning and stuff. But actually, beforehand, he'll check on Kelness since he's invisible. Yeah, he'll at least just make his way to her. So.
Okay, so if you're going to stop and check her, that would be a medicine check as an action, and you just turn invisible.
Oh yeah. So no, I'll just make my way to Kelness right now, and then I'll make my way to the cart later.
Okay,
so,
do you just want to step out, or do you want to actually get on the ground level with her?
Ground level there.
Okay.
And that'll be it.
All right, that's going to take us to Dakkar. Oh, sorry, Kelness, I need a death saving throw.
Six.
That is one fail. At which point it is the assassin's turn. The assassin is going to break away, run towards the fire, and is going to attempt to hide. But doesn't seem to do great of a job, so you that would be Voxel. You see exactly where they go. All right, that's going to take us to Dakkar.
I am going to, assuming this would be out if I'm like by Kelness.
Yep.
And I'm gonna cast Tidal Wave at the cart.
Okay.
That general area.
All right, go ahead and read Tidal Wave for me.
I create a 30-foot long, 10-foot wide, 10-foot tall tidal wave. Each creature in the area must make a dex saving throw. 4d8 on a fail, knocked prone, half on a save, and not knocked prone. Water extinguishes any unprotected flames within the area and 30 feet of it.
Okay, so since the card is in the way, the wave itself would cast and would hit the assassin, but it would not put out the fire. Well, I guess no, it would go under, so yeah, we'll say it will.
There's a fire like on the other side of the car, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Fire's over here, but it'll travel under, it'll still get it.
Well, I can start the tidal wave on that side, then and come back anyway.
Oh, do you want it to come from the bottom and travel upward?
I guess I'd start on the back side of the caravan coming towards us.
Okay, that's right.
If the fire's on that side.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, the fire will go out. Was it a save?
14 dex.
Okay, that is a fail. The fire does go out.
Nice.
19 tidal wave damage.
19 tidal wave damage. All right. The wave itself smashes in and spins. It hits the back of the hooded figure, who slams into the cart, and the cart itself tips slowly over before slamming down on the ground and falling. And you hear more screams inside as objects shift and break on the inside of the cart. We'll take us back to the top.
I still have my bonus action.
Oh yeah, good.
I will. I will use 3 die of the bomb of the symbol card on Kelvis.
Thanks.
So that will be 12 hit points and 3 temporary hit points.
All right, Kelly, you snap back into existence.
And I'll move back my Kelvis, and that'll be my turn.
All right, Kimura.
Okay, so Q has all of her movement back. So Q is going to use her bonus action to dash 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. And go at this mofo with short sword.
Yeah, go for it.
And it's not gonna hit.
Alrighty, so yeah, you go for the sword, and they just kind of bash it away with the towards the hilt of the sword, and kind of knock it into the one of the wheels. Anything else?
I'm going to yell in the cart and say, "How many of you are trapped in there?" And that's it.
Right. You would know that this is, well, no, you wouldn't, because you went to bed. So
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So here, let's see. I'm going to first break free. So I'm going to try to move a little bit. So I'm going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 right there. And I'm going to attempt to hit this figure with Eldritch Blast. That is a non-natural 20.
Yep, that'll hit.
All right, and damage. 7 damage.
As you unleash that arcane Eldritch Blast, it just slams in and kind of pops the shoulder slightly out of socket, where you scraped in and kind of jam it back in.
That should also should push him about like 10 feet.
All right, so you want 10 feet back?
Yeah. Oof. Yeah, not be a good thing, but whatever.
Right, anything else?
That'll be it for my turn.
All right, Kelnis.
Okay. Oh, dang. I'm going to use half my
also,
move.
Voxel, you're now visible again.
Oh, great. All right.
I'm going to use half my movement to stand up. Ugh. Dag nabbit.
You dash with the bonus action.
She can't dash with the bonus action.
I don't think I can. That's not
No.
mine.
It's her action to dash.
That's not what I want to do.
What are you doing, Kel?
I'm going to... Fine, I'll use my action to dash. And I want to... Oh, right.
Just so you don't have to do anything you don't want to do.
Well, it's because I can't do what I want to do because I have to use half my movement to stand up.
Just go back on the caravan, go back to sleep, start over again.
Yeah, new day.
We're just going to re-wake up.
News.
Reset.
It's all a dream.
It's all a dream. All right, I'm going to come over here Did this figure move?
Yes, it did. It got whenever Voxel hit it with his Eldritch Blast, it knocked
Okay.
it back 10 feet.
Okay. I'm gonna go here. And I'm going to use my bonus action to go into a rage. Q, I don't know that you need. Well, are you within 10 feet of me?
I am.
You
And I feel fine.
I mean, you get 3 temporary hit points anyway.
Okay.
That's my turn.
Alrighty, that's going to be the assassin's turn again. As you both flank in, he sees you, and there's a look of shocked expression that you got back up, and he lunges in to take another stab at you, Kelnis.
Okay.
That is going to be a 25 to hit.
Yep.
There's 4 points of piercing damage, and I need another Constitution saving throw.
Shit. I rolled a 1 again.
All right, you're taking that poison damage again.
Dakkar, don't go too far.
2. That's 26 more points of poison damage.
Is it halved?
Nope.
Okay. I run up. I scare him. He hits me. I'm down. It's not my day today.
At which point, because he doesn't have to use his assassinate feature, he gets a second attack and spins around and takes it at you, Q.
Okay.
That's going to be a 7 to hit. I think that's a miss.
It is a miss.
True. All right, so that's going to be the end of their turn. That takes us back to the top. Oh, so that takes us to Dakkar.
I'm going to let loose the dogs of fury and shoot a guiding bolt his way.
Why not? Why not? Let's do this.
19.
Oh, yeah, 19 will hit. That's the Dog of Fury.
Yeah,
Right.
there it is.
Perfect
You unleashed
timing.
him.
Those hellhounds
They're-
are vicious.
They're loosed. Ooh. 10, 15, 19 guiding bolts radiant.
Those loaves of bread do some damage.
Ooh, 19. And the next attack gets advantage, whoever hits him. Anything else for
And
Dakkar?
yes, I will use my bonus action to whisper sweet nothings to Kelnis. Kelnis,
Not when you're at the campsite of your hoping to be lover. That's not nice.
Kelnis, get up, won't you? Oh. 4 hit points.
Ooh, thanks.
The eyes awake again.
Sorry,
Like
I rolled
Michael
a 1.
Myers at the end of every Halloween.
Anything else, Dakkar?
No, that will
Right.
be
Q.
my turn.
All right, Q is going for him. You said the next attack is at advantage?
It is at advantage.
Okay, so it's just a regular roll then. Didn't need it, it's a nat 20.
Ooh.
Just to kind of...
Actually, you could have rolled an advantage with Kelnis is up.
Actually not, because she's down, so she's
I'm
not
not-
on that. So it's
I'm
not.
Yeah.
I'm not vertical.
So Q, this is not sneak attack damage.
Are you sure? Because he gave me advantage. It says anytime I'm at advantage, I get the sneak attack.
But you're not at advantage. His advantage cancels out your disadvantage.
Got it. God damn it. All right, well.
So regular attack and then double your
Okay. Okay. It was still a good roll. 15 damage.
Ooh, that is a good roll.
Yeah.
Just imagine what you could have. No.
I know, right?
Oh,
You should have slept in.
Right.
I know I should have slept in.
I was trying to.
And then I'm going to use my bonus action to disengage and come behind the cart.
Okay.
There. A little bit farther. There. And that's my turn.
Alrighty. That's going to take us to Voxel.
Voxel is going to use, so he's already taken damage, so he's going to use Toll the Dead. So that'll be a wisdom saving throw of 14.
That is a success. Nope, actually, no, it isn't. It's a 13. There's no modifier, so it's a fail.
Oh, sweet. All right. It's 2d12 then, since he's taking damage. So, oh, really? 4 damage. 2d12, 4 damage.
As the demonic bells begin to chime under the earth, and there's a subtle shake of the ground, and then the body just kind of collapses as a wave of gravity just piles down upon the hooded figure.
That'll conclude my turn.
All right, let's take us to Kelnis.
He is right next to me. I'm going to use my bonus action to. I'm going back into a rage. And I'm going to. I'd like to hit him with my battle axe because I'm a little peeved that he's taking me out twice. He or she. I don't know what he is, but he or she.
You're doing this from the ground.
No, I'll stand up and do it.
Just ask it. I mean, it's your choice.
I'll use half my movement to stand up.
Do what you want to do, Kelnis.
Shape your own fortune.
That's right. No, I'm going to stand up to do this. I haven't practiced it enough, like, from the ground, so I'm going to go ahead and stand up with half my movement and attempt to hit him with my battle axe. Or her. 20, not nat.
Oh, yeah, that's going to hit.
11 damage.
Okay.
And can I tell how this figure looks? Are they a little worn out? Are they worse for wear? Are they...
I mean, y'all have been beating the crap out of this person. They're looking pretty bad.
Okay, I want to... say, who are you? And with my second attack, I'm gonna try to just punch him or her, because I don't want to kill them. I want to find out what's going on, and so maybe we can go with close to unconsciousness.
Okay.
20, not nat to hit.
Yes, that'll hit.
And it's just 6
It's
bludgeoning
6?
damage. 6.
Oh yeah, you say that the whole
Who are you? What are you doing?
And then you just see it rock back on its heels and then slam down on the ground, and they are unconscious. Good timing on that.
Ooh.
So you
Okay.
now have control of
I'm
them.
gonna say
They're out. You knocked them out.
that's fine. I want to go to the other wagon and see if I can help get those people out.
Okay. So as y'all travel and look, the wagon that's tipped over, you're able to get to the door itself. The reason why they've not been able to exit is it has been there's been a dagger that's been wedged in so that it could not open. And you quickly remove the dagger, and Danica and Patricia just stumble out. A little broken and bruised, but alive.
Does the
Can I-
dagger look familiar, or is it just a regular dagger?
Can I examine the dagger?
Sure. Investigation
Well-
check.
18.
It is a finely crafted dagger. It's sharp.
But that's it.
Hey, Kelnis, are you going to use that?
Nah, you can have it. It's finely crafted and it's sharp.
I can see that. And I put it in the sheath of my boots.
Was that the one that was wedged in the door? Is that correct?
Mhm.
Yes.
Cool. Vox is going to use his mage hand to grab the dagger he used to stab Kelmus with.
Oh, it's a longsword.
Oh, it's a long sword. I thought. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry, short sword.
Yeah, he's gonna grab that short sword.
Yep.
Make sure. Yeah, and while that person's out, he's just gonna double check and probably start tying him up.
Okay, so as you start working and wrapping him up, Dakkar, you.
Donica, are you okay?
I don't know what happened. We just felt the smoke, and then Patricia started to scream, and then all of a sudden the cart just tipped sideways.
Yeah.
What's going on?
That may have been my fault. I was putting out the fire and it knocked
No,
out.
Dakkar, that wasn't your fault. It was this guy who we are currently tying up right now. It was this guy's fault. He started the fire. We put it out. It wasn't your fault.
Does he look familiar?
She kind of looks over. No.
Have their parents come out at all during any of this?
Nope.
Can I go knock on the other wagon and see if they're all right?
It is also wedged in with the dagger.
I'm gonna take the dagger out.
As you approach, you do hear some muffled screaming, and as you open it up, the parents themselves are bound and gagged.
Oh.
On their own.
Okay, well, I'm going to use the dagger to set them loose, and I'm going to ask them, do you know who that was? Who did this to you?
You kind of cut them loose, and then they explain to you that they woke up as a figure was above them, and that whenever the father woke up, he saw the wife was already bound, and they quickly bound him. But they don't know who he is. Oh, sorry, the one person. Well, the one person they saw.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to exit the wagon and say, here, Q, here's another dagger.
Perfect. In the other boot. Kind of starting to feel like I'm filling out again.
Are you wearing plate mail? No, it's just daggers.
Ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. I'm gonna go to Vox and also look at the person and see if there are any defining features, if they're wearing anything that we would recognize.
Mage hand pulled the hood back.
As the mage hand pulls back the hood, the lower portion of the face is a clay mask that is actually just solid white, but there's a scar across the eye, and as you pull that back, the scar itself travels across the eye, up, across in a T, and then there's 3 more repetitions of that same cross pattern.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah. And very deliberate.
Yeah.
And you said it started appearing as in like we could see like more of a scar, or it was like there's like some sort of
scar. So the scar was hidden from the hood, but also where the mask lies and the hood is, you would only see the single scar. Once you lifted up the hood, you see the other smaller crosses that.
I wanna try to remove the mask.
Yeah.
Oh, the mask just comes off.
Oh, okay.
Good job, Q.
I did it.
Hey, let me take a look at that mask. Let me see.
I'm gonna like go and also like hold it up to Vox's face. Be like, it's not your shade of blue, but okay.
No, but it's definitely my preferred preference of surprise. Let me investigate this and see what Dylan is here.
So it is. I mean, it's basically like a giant chin strap that raises up over the face.
I want to check their clothing and any personal belongings to see what they have on them.
Do an investigation check.
This one's been good. 11.
They don't have anything of personal nature on them. they're very lightly armored, which is probably why they move so fast.
Mhm.
And there's no real ornateness to any of their clothing. It's simple garb, gray cloak, dark black, kind of leather bindings. Pretty unimportant. Nothing really stands out.
Actually, does this armor look like it's my size? I mean, they took my armor, so I'm gonna take this person's armor.
Okay.
This the leather armor. Yeah,
Well, it's about your size. It'll fit.
yeah. I'm gonna do that.
And you said this was a human. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Human male.
If I could do an examination, like a medicine check or something on the scars, just to see if those are like self-inflicted or what would have caused something like that.
Go for it.
Oh, yes, that is a 21. So.
The way that they healed up, this is a repetitive scar, as if it was done over and over and over for a long period of time, where it would heal up and be reopened.
This is definitely the work of somebody playing around with something nasty. Those are his own doing. That's their own doing. That right there on the face. Boy, that's not one of those work-related incidents. This person's part of a cult or something. I don't like this at all.
Have any of the family members come by? Any of the Parnassus family come up to him yet?
I believe you took him over there to show him to see if he knew who he was. So yeah, they would have seen him.
Okay. Do y'all recognize him? Do y'all recognize any of the markings?
Is this normal? Like to just get attacked and bound and
set on
to
fire?
fire?
No, not at all. This is the safest place we can ever be. People don't just stroll into the canopy. They tend to mind their business and stay. Either they go through the windway or they just don't come here at all. They go around.
Okay, I was just asking. I mean,
Well, I mean, I could ask you the same thing. We were perfectly fine, and then you show up, and then all of a sudden someone's attacking.
That is true.
Killed my daughter.
That is true.
I helped save them.
We appreciate that.
Is there anybody that you would really seem to piss off in the last, year or so that would have really been, sending a message like this? Because clearly this is it's a trained professional.
I mean, we're bards. We piss off everybody. You almost get paid more because you piss off more people.
Well, true, but anybody in particular you would have started a blood feud with? Because to send someone like this is going to cause the pretty man to queen. So, I mean, now's probably the best time to just, dig deep into your memory of who did what. So, you can figure something out.
I think Vox is right. Is who have you sung about recently, or who would you maybe have offended with your performances?
Man, I really can't make a list for you of all the people that I've ever offended. I mean,
Recently.
last night I could add you to the list.
That's true.
Guys, I think he was waiting for us.
I don't recognize him.
I don't recognize him either. Do you, Dakkar?
I don't, but we've had numerous people attack us we don't recognize before.
That's true.
The older couple in the Capitol, the three yokels north of Deadwood.
The Gray Sisters.
Well,
The Pervasive Fury. Yeah, you know what? You're right. It probably was us.
there's a lot of that out there. But they were seeming to lock the Parnassus family in their carriages and then waiting for us to exit.
He was definitely waiting. He got me
Yeah.
good.
But
And a swivel
You
next
got
time.
me, guys. You got me.
Did you see?
Well, he deserved that one.
Twice. Twice.
Box is gonna grab him by the collar and say, "Well, let's see if we can get him to talk." And he's just gonna boom, kind of slap the guy across the face.
Yes.
Takes a few kind of tries, but he does come to.
Who are you?
She breathes fire.
Voxel's gonna cast suggestion.
Oh, shit.
All right, so let's see. Let's hope it works. That's a wisdom saving throw of 14.
Can I get behind Vox and be very intimidating? Would that give him some advantage?
Not in this instance, because he's not trying to intimidate him. He's trying to take control of his mind.
Okay.
What'd he do?
What do you want him to be suggested?
Say, you're just gonna tell us everything. Who you work for? You're just gonna be honest. Tell us anything we want to know. No secrets.
My name's Walter. Walter Fairfield. Hi.
Hi, Walter.
Don't be nice. Well, who sent you?
I was sent here by my commander,
Who's your
Who
commander?
is?
Joslin Reece.
So you were waiting for us.
Yes, I was sent here for that one. And he points over at Dakkar.
Why that one?
I don't know, ma'am. That's Jocelyn said to bring the one with the short hair.
What happened to your face?
What do you mean? What happened to my face? This is my face. It's how I look.
You have scars on your face.
I cut myself
Why?
because that's the devotion that it takes to be an inquisitor.
Hmm.
What do you know about an upcoming war?
I don't know anything about a war.
Okay.
Wars happen all the time.
What does Jocelyn want with the one with the short hair?
Just wanted him eliminated.
There's got to be a reason behind that, yes? Or has she not shared that with you?
I'm only told targets.
Were you the only one following us, or are there others?
No,
How'd you catch our scent?
who followed you as soon as you departed and fled from the citadel. We saw you go into the southern part of the woods. I figured that you would be trying to make your way to the Windway, so we went to the north side and tracked downward. We ran into the campsite. I watched you guys last night with a family. Saw you braid her hair. Figured that they'd be the best distraction.
And have you had any communication with them since to let them know that we're here?
No,
So nobody knows that you've found this one.
not yet.
It's going to stay that way.
Is your sword magical?
No. It's got poison on it.
Are your finely crafted daggers magical?
No.
And you traveled here on your own? No one with you? No company?
It's easier to track when you move as a single person.
What was the group that was sent out? Obviously, you tracked us alone, but how many people were sent out looking for us?
2 other groups.
to other groups? Groups of how many?
3, maybe 4.
Which
Now-
way did they go?
Say that again.
Which way did they go?
One group went around the south end of the canopy, heading towards the rift. The other, I'm not sure they went in, but we know to stay on the outskirts of the canopy. There's too many dangers on the inside.
You didn't specify who. Was there anyone else with you?
No.
Okay.
Do you know this family at all?
No. Should I?
No. I was just making sure people weren't lying. I like honesty.
Do you know another Inquisitor by the name of Concern?
Sir. People.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen him.
Is he alive?
I believe so.
Do you know if he's suffered any punishment or consequences?
He was held in the interrogation chambers. Not too long after the first time that you were captured.
You kind of winces at that.
But he left. He left the chambers.
I don't know.
What takes place at the top of that tower?
Whatever the curate and the cleric study, or I'm not sure. It's their private quarters.
Well, we've got at least 2 groups of 3 or 4. There's 6 to 8 people tracking us. We need to get rid of this guy and get moving.
Yeah.
Well, well, Walter, it's a real shame that you've been following us, and it's a bigger shame that you were willing to kill children in the process. So, you don't have a way of talking with Joslin, do you? How would you communicate with Joslin and the rest of your group?
I was supposed to meet up with her afterwards.
Meet where? Back
Find her. We were told to go eastward
eastward.
to the folly.
So Jocelyn's waiting for you at the Folly.
That was where she had informed us she was going to be moving. Seemed particularly excited to be going back.
To be going back. Does she spend a lot of time in the Folly?
She's come and gone a few times. I even escorted her there one time.
What have you seen at the Folly?
Not really my kind of place. Posh resort. Or uppity up kind of people. People who have too much coin to spend.
Well, and people who have too much coin to spend are spending it on services. Who are the people that provide those services?
I believe the proprietor is some elven woman. Imelda. Calthwinnis.
And she's the organizer of all of this?
She's the lady who's in charge, I guess.
Can you describe the servants there?
Sorry, I don't understand the question. There's no servants.
So the
The
only
workers?
There are no workers.
So what do the uppity up buy there?
Services?
What kind of services specifically?
I'm not sure. We don't ever really make it into the domiciles.
So we know that Joslin's waiting for us at the Folly, which is where we're headed. So we need to probably we need to start either making our way south, or we got to find something else. But if we want to tango with Joslin again, we might be significantly outnumbered, and I don't
Yep.
think that would be a wise idea.
Don't think it's a good idea at all.
Nope, not at all. It's a hard pass for Q.
Do you think we can get to the monastery? Because I think they need to know that there's potentially a war and dark magic is going to be used by the Grey Sisters.
I agree.
Do you guys mind if I just kill this fright bastard now?
Oh, no. I can tell you more things.
Like what?
You gotta let me go first. You gotta promise or something.
Well, you'd have to tell us something that's worth letting you go.
Especially because we just said where we wanted to go. So how do we know you're not going to just run right back to Joslin and tell her where we're going?
I'm gonna go to Joslin. Tell her that I got my ass handed to me by targets that weren't even knowing I was there.
What would you tell her otherwise?
She might actually do worse than we could. Poor bastard.
So what's your plan, Walter?
It's to live.
What do
Well,
you have
like
to
I
look
said,
for?
if you tell us something that's worth your life.
You can't get into the folly without medallions.
Medallions, what kind of medallions?
Each one of the nobles they have a token, and they take the token and they put it in the fountain before they enter.
What is on this token?
I don't know. I've never seen a token. I just know they have them.
Okay. That's a start.
What else? I don't.
Where are you going to go?
Yeah, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna run. I'm gonna enjoy my life. I'm gonna hide.
Here's what you're gonna do, okay? I'm gonna be real clear with you, Walter, because personally, I love spilling blood. I love it. It's one of my favorite things to do. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna remain tied up for a while because you tried to kill children. And here's the thing, we've all killed lots of people. We spilled so much blood. I mean, just buckets of it. So, I mean, the right thing would be to kill you, but when you start bringing children into this, oh, there's a special place in hell for someone like you. And you're talking to a demon. So, what you're going to do is you're going to remain tied up. And the way that you're going to live is by being subservient to this family right here. They're going to own you. You're going to be a piece of property. Or you're going to get murdered. One of the two. You don't get choices. You either...
Fox,
He's getting off the hook quite easily.
Look,
in some ways,
kill him. I mean, that's up to me. I mean, you're the ones that are talking about life and death, and you know.
I know. Where I come from, there's a big issue with like power dynamic and the like inequality of power, and I don't feel like this really fits. I don't know, my idea of justice. I don't know about you guys, but I'm only one person in this group.
Walter, do you have anything else bigger than what you just told us?
I just want to live, man.
Axel's gonna stab him.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Maxwell, how long does your spell last for?
Hour.
Hour?
An hour. So yeah, Box is like, well, he wasn't gonna go with him. I think the better thing is, look, we've got two groups with a decent amount of feet on the ground, so they're going to be chasing us down. We know that clearly the folly is not where we want to be going right now, at least especially without these medallions. We need to change our plans really quick, and we need to get rid of this little bastard because they're going to be able to smell them from a mile away. And if they catch our tracks, then we're going to have, what, 8 people?
Well, luckily, 3 out of the 4 of us have the ability to make fire. So,
Well, look, you take care of him, and Dakkar, you try to calm the family down. I'll try to talk to the little one, make sure they're okay, and then I say we'll be on our way, both groups. The faster we get out of here, the better. We don't want to have any time right now that he's being used is working against us, so we got to go.
yep. So I guess I'll stay with Kelnis and we can burn the body.
Light him up.
Light him up.
You get started on a small funeral pyre that's not really a funeral pyre. I don't care about your life pyre.
Okay.
It's a spite fire is what it is.
So I'll gather some wood. I'll move the body on top of it.
I mean, luckily there was a cart right next to him.
Yeah.
Just gonna.
I think the Parnassus are going to use that.
The cart that's
I
on
thought
the
it was
side.
all burned and tipped over.
It's pretty destroyed.
They still have 2?
Do you all need any more possessions out of this cart?
At that point they would already have been going through
Oh.
and pulling out stuff. Most of it is replaceable. As you remember that you were given the cart, you were given Danica's cart,
Mhm.
and they stayed together in Patricia's cart. So this is Patricia's room. It's a couple of trinkets and toys and general heirlooms, but nothing really fancy.
Sorry about your cart, Patricia.
It's okay as you look over and the updo braid that she clearly could see she slept in is just like, yeah.
Vox will try to like fix it and try to just kind of calm her down and just be like, hey, just try to like do the like parental like, sometimes adults don't agree on things and so they send somebody to take care of it. Like what
That was some aggressive
in
negotiation.
the end, and
I
just
don't
like
agree with my sister sometimes, so
well, this is why you work on communication and talking with people, right? Because
stab her.
you don't you don't stab her. This is a hired person. You don't do that. You talk it out.
I'm joking. I wouldn't stab her.
Q
Just
didn't,
nice.
Q didn't
knock on
want
the
you to
head
have
works
a
pretty well.
prisoner with a job, so Voxel took care of that.
Didn't want them to have a slave. Slaves are bad. Well, not the slaves are not bad, but the idea of slaves, the concept,
He would have just become
overarching
a
idea
roadie.
of slavery is wrong.
Well, look, he would have started off as a manservant, and this way he's at least, like for the length of time that, he was at least scared of him, they would have been like, oh, we got you tied up, and then be like, oh, I'm sorry. And then, probably just been like, oh, these are actually really good people, and I shouldn't have killed them. Getting off track.
Have you done this before, Voxel?
Oh, no.
May I roll an insight check?
Go ahead.
In the background, I'm getting like something to start a fire with to dispose of the body.
Yeah.
Yeah, the body's lighting it well.
11.
What do I roll against it?
It comes down to you. If you want to roll against it, if you're trying to deceive him.
What was specifically, what were you asking, like, Hovda? If I've done what?
If you've created a slave position before that, like, you, over time, essentially made them, like, bend their will to what you wanted.
I'm going to roll a deception on this one. That is a non-natural 20.
Yeah. Cool as a cucumber.
No.
I don't think he's dead cute. I think he's cool.
Okay.
Wait, wait, he said something about an amulet, right?
Well, he said they need a medallion or
Yeah,
tokens
or a
to get
token.
into the folly.
Vox is thumbing around his bag. And pull out the thing Carl had.
Ooh, careful with that. Careful with that.
Mm.
Well, I mean, we've come into some groups that have like tokens or medallions. Like, remember the guys in the jail in what's it called? In Lakota. Didn't they have necklaces or medallions or something?
Yeah, or little Yagu pendants.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was their. I thought that was their. Like identifying I'm part of the pervasive fury.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I don't know. You never know. We'll get it out. Let's see it.
Okay, I'll pull out that, or Vox is pulling that out. I still have one of the Yagu pendants, so I'll pull that out.
Okay. Like, well,
Yeah.
I don't know. Does it look worthy of getting us into a hoity-toity place?
Well, right now, if Joslin's there and expecting us, we
I
don't
don't
want to
think
be
we
going
should
there.
go.
Oh no. Oh no. We're not going.
So he said that the other team was going where again?
Well-
One went south to the rift, and the other went in the canopy. So I think what we need to do is we need to travel south,
South.
south along the windway till we get to the monastery.
I like that idea.
We're out in the open, but hopefully we would see anyone out in the open too.
And now that we know that people are looking for us, we can be a little bit more aware and vigilant. Q is going to kind of take a closer look at the pendant that Kelnis just gave her and notice that it's the same design as on Vox's person. They're like, wait a second.
This is what I was trying to tell y'all.
No, I know, but like, it just clicked, like right now. So,
Fox, you've been very helpful, and I don't want to be upsetting. But on your clothing,
are you a criminal?
I'm not a criminal. I'm honestly, do you really want to know what I am?
Are you after the bounty
Yeah.
on us?
The teeth.
Good answer.
I'm
I want to do an insight check on that.
Nobody trusts Vox.
I mean, go ahead.
Nat 20.
All right. Let's see if I can. Well, let's just see if I can resist this. Hold on. Bring up the lucky dice, and
You can add 2 to that if you want. I don't know if it matters or not.
so it's a 22 versus a 21.
So Kelnis, where Voxel has been very, very adept at dodging any questions from the elves, the moment the Dragonborn asks a direct question and you get very close to him, there's a quick hesitation and there's a delay before his answer. You can tell that he's not threatening, but he is aware that there is, he's aware of who y'all are.
Where's the rest of your party?
I'm just going to be real upfront with you.
I appreciate it.
Please do.
I don't really know or care. And that's all I can tell you. I don't know and I don't care.
Were y'all after Carl?
I was after Carl. I don't know where the rest of those right bastards are, and I'm not going to bother with them. I do what I'm supposed to do, and I bring the right people back when I'm supposed to.
Now, are you bringing people back for the pervasive fury or for
The Order of the Woven Blood.
Mm-hmm.
Woven blood.
So are you an offshoot of the pervasive fury, or are they an offshoot of you?
Oh boy.
If it's too deep, man, like I understand.
No.
I'm curious. I want to know.
Q, you look sleepy. We should take a nap.
Yeah, cute. Let's take a nap.
Invisibility.
Nap.
Less an hour. Oh boy.
I mean, I'm not about to like hit you with my battle axe or anything because you've been really helpful. You helped us escape. Like you've helped us survive all this. You know, I'm just.
She hasn't told you about her breath weapon yet.
So
Shut up, Dakkar.
I wasn't looking for you. I may have done some work with a Fury at one point. The Woven Blood is its own thing. I'm not working directly with anyone. I don't have a crew right now, so you're safe. I don't know why the Fury's after you. I'm not going to leak anything out. Let's leave it at that for right now. I mean, if you trust me so far, you should keep trusting me.
So if you don't have a crew, would you be willing to be a feather?
A what?
A feather.
It sounded
Sounded so
cooler.
It's cooler when we say we're the 5 feathers.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Don't say, do you want to be a feather? Dakkar.
Like one feather doesn't do much, but like
Sorry.
5 feathers.
This was only the
Okay,
second
5 feathers doesn't really do much either. They just all
Really? And Q slaps Kelnis.
Fox's jaw is just progressively just dropping farther down. Be like, huh?
This is only the second person I've tried to recruit, and the other person was really into us. That it wasn't much effort.
Typically, I work alone, but I like working with you guys.
No,
and,
I want to know how much damage Q takes from trying to hit me.
Q, roll an attack.
I missed.
So,
You're too tall.
Kelnis, roll a d20. No modifier, just roll a d20.
2.
Okay, no damage, but yeah, you hit and it's just nothing. It's more of like a.
Excuse me, Q.
I'm just saying, 5 feathers. It's like it's more jokes than you're ready for.
All right, I think we should start moving.
I agree. Vox, I don't 100% trust you just because of the other interactions we've had with the members of one of your previous groups.
We've had several encounters with them.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we have.
But just know you're like on a probation period. But I mean, you can stay.
Look, I've had my issues with them too. It's been a while since I've interacted with my own group, and I don't like most of these guys now. I feel like they've lost the entire point of service. I know what I'm supposed to do, and I don't work with them, and I think that's what we're going to keep it at for right now. Clearly, we're not going to be going to the folly, so we need to start making our way either south, or we go and find the folly, and we just we let whatever happen. But I'm not really feeling that right now, so I say we start moving our way south.
Let's move south.
Yeah.
Dakkar, do you want to say anything to the Parnassus family? Are you leaving with us? Are you going to stay with them?
After this, I don't think. Like, I'm sorry I brought this to your doorstep, literally. We're going in another direction than y'all, so hopefully, no more evil will besmirch your doorstep. But it was nice to see you all again.
The family begins to load up on the first cart, and Danica pulls up on the second cart and prepares the horses. It was really good to see you again, Dakkar. Who knows? Maybe we'll catch you at the festival.
When is that again?
Well, that's a great question. That would be Celebration of Voices is in the month of Javan. So you are currently rounding out the cycle in Celtris. So then we'll start a new yearly calendar. That would be 2 months. So you're looking at about 120 days. Give or take.
Put it on your calendar.
When they'll be at the amphitheater thingy.
Yeah, they'll be at the Oculus.
I say we get moving. So
Let's go.
let's go.
Yep.
And they begin to drive off. Are y'all following the windway out?
Following
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, I think so. The windway.
Okay, so following the path of the windway, you're going to be able to move a lot faster. So whoever is leading, I just need to know who's at the front of the helm.
I'm gonna go ahead and.
I'll lead.
Okay.
I think I can figure out where south is.
All right, so Kelnis, I need you to do a perception check.
Okay. God dang it. 5.
You just have your eyes fixed on the windway, and you just move the whole time, just staring at the windway itself. It does take you a good chunk of the day moving through the woods itself. It's probably right around noon as y'all make y'all's way outside of the canopy and you begin to see the open plains that lead, following the windway itself, heading in the southerly direction. Those are the plains, the same style of those lumpy, oversized kind of dunes of dirt where you found all of those undead monk bodies. But we're now on the northern part of the wall, as you know that you are probably fairly close to Salem Kadun.
As we're walking, I want to make a note of the state of the windway, because the last time we were kind of near here, there were some parts of it that were fallen, and I want to see like if anything is moving up there, like if any cars are going.
Well,
that would indicate that it was fixed.
Y'all have never been to the windway on this side, except for right outside of Salem.
guardhouse.
And when y'all came out of Marindi that first time, they had taken the barrels of explosives that they were going to use to close the guardhouse door, and they blew one of the pillars. So one of the pillars right next to the guardhouse is where it's broken.
No, but if they would have fixed, like in my mind, if they would have fixed that, the cars would be going on the top. That's what I mean.
So looking to see if there's any.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, do a perception check.
Woo!
Where you remember there being a gentle hum at all times as you traveled on the southern part of the wall, there is silence coming off of the stonework.
Okay. All right.
Continue moving, following the windway.
I want to take my healing potion while we're walking.
Because you're walking and you're not fighting or engaged, I'll say there will be some point where y'all could sit and take a short rest.
Okay.
And you can use your hit die.
Okay.
Just whoever's leaving, go ahead and do me another perception check.
Oh, 20, not nat.
Right. So you're able to use your hit dice. If anybody wants to use hit dice at this time, you take a small short rest. You make
During this time, can I examine that sword that I found off of the Walter?
Yeah.
Because you said there was a poison on it. I just want to
Yes. So you can do an investigation check, or if you're trying to determine the poison itself.
Yeah. More like nature or.
Yeah, I would say go with. Actually, no. Go with Arcana.
Oh, that's a 7.
I mean, there's lots of poisons in the world. It seems like it was imbued with some kind of poison because it's not something that you have to repeatedly coat. It doesn't seem
It's
to wear
like
away.
what is it like? Self? Yeah, like, like it's almost like it's stored in there. It's just like it's
A self-lubricating breath, right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, yeah. So Vox is like, well, I like this. It's looks like it'd come in handy. Just kind of like polishing the handle and stuff.
I still want to take my healing potion. It's a standard healing potion. Is that just 10 hit points?
You emptied out all of your hit die.
No, I only used one.
Okay, you can use as many as you want.
Okay, never mind on the healing potion.
Yeah.
So, like, save your.
I know. I was like,
Oh, yeah. Okay, hang on.
Just roll them all. Just roll them all, Vic.
When you take your short rest, I allow you to use all the hit die you want.
Thanks.
So, Voxel, it's just a regular short sword.
Mhm.
However, if you spend some more time with it, I can give you some more information. But as of right now, you just know it's a short sword that has some kind of poison in it.
Cool. All right.
how are you eating a chicken patty?
Oh, also, Joel, just because I told you that I added that necklace to your inventory,
Yes.
it does require attunement.
Ooh.
Keep that in mind.
Can I attune? Try to attune. Well, attuning is what, an hour?
Yeah.
Or short rest. Well, short rest is roughly an hour, right? I will try to attune to that in the rest time.
As you're resting, we'll say it'll stay for a little over an hour. Yeah, and you're able to do that.
Can I just say that for all of the D12 I rolled, I either got a 1 or a 2 every single time. No, it's fine. And then I was like, well, then I just need to practice rolling. And then I got an 8 and a 9 and a 10.
You need to throw those dice away. That's what you need to do. You need to have.
Your dragon dice.
Welcome to D&D.
I know.
Where
I'm not at all surprised. I'm the one rolling the dice. It's not the dice, it's me.
I bought a set of game science dice because people are like they're perfectly flat and like completely unbiased, and I don't think I ever rolled above like a 10. So it was just a cursed set of dice, and that's all it is.
I'm just impressed by my abilities. What can I say? It's fine.
Well, as you pick up and begin to trek on whoever's leading, make one more perception check.
You know what, Countess? I'm feeling a little bit better.
I think that's a great idea. I'm going to look around while we're traveling, but I'm not taking the lead.
17.
Okay. Q, you're the first one to notice it in the distance. You do see the large three vaulted ceilings exterior of Salem Kadun in the distance as you make your way, and you see the large expanse of the wall. The windway itself is still broken. However, there are more and more people around Salem Kadun, as there's a high amount of energy at the monastery, and where it was dismal and very almost just like militaristic and dead, there now is a lot of patronage and banners hanging and furled everywhere. As you see, there is color to Salem Kadun. And as you pull in, a familiar dragonborn begins to walk your way, as you are now greeted with Sakara, who kind of waves you down as he sees you entering.
Where y'all came to find my cure?
Yes, this is
Welcome to the monastery.
famous monastery. Yeah, it probably seemed so much cooler in stories, but
Well, it's more lively now.
I know. In the stories, it just sounded so much more dangerous.
Well, it was spooky and eerie when we came here last time.
Was. I guess whenever we get up to Sakara, I'm going to first of all say hello, and then ask what's going on.
Well, life's back on. We got notice from the Citadel of Roska that they're going to be pushing recruits our way, so we were told to get the preparations ready, and
Nope.
we're a little rushed, but the tournaments are coming live.
Recruits for what?
What kind of recruits?
Apparently, we were told that we need to have new initiates of the Grey Sisters who are going through the trials should be pushed in to their full initiations.
Dakkar?
Monks as well. So we're starting our tournament.
We probably should talk to the ones in charge.
Yeah, Vox is gonna be like, "Aren't the Grey Sisters?" And they just kind of like go quiet.
We have some bad news about the Grey Sisters. It's a little alarming. But it's great to see you. It's great to see the place lively and happy, but I feel as though the Grey Sisters are a little bit false in their intentions of what they've presented.
Yeah. Also, this is Vox.
Hey.
And this is Dakkar. This is the one we got the...
Oh, yeah, this is Dakkar.
Oh, this is the stone guy.
Yeah, Dakkar, yes. The one we came here to look for a cure for.
Well, apparently the cure worked. Otherwise, you kind of over-exaggerated the stone issue, but it's a pleasure to see both of you here. Welcome to Salem Kadun. I'm sure Master Nehemiah would enjoy speaking with all of you. Please, follow me. Where's your metallic friend?
Q's gonna kind of just
He had some other business, so he's down south still.
Yeah, just kind of like twiddling with just pieces of clothing and things between your fingers, and be like, yeah, he just, I guess just some things came up, really hard, really tough time in life right now, just needing to focus on himself right now. That's what's going on. Just
insight check.
Not a great time.
I love how y'all never do insight checks, and then today it's like insight. Go
and
on.
Vox has missed out on like a year's worth of like backstory, so, or Joel has missed out on that, and Vox is very quickly making up for like 48 hours worth of knowing them. That's a 14. So,
I mean, I'm not even gonna roll against it. It's like that's what Q perceives as the truth.
Vox will be sad he didn't get more. So this monastery, who's it dedicated to?
Knowledge.
No.
Knowledge, free thinking, and discipline.
Oh, interesting. It's not dedicated to like a specific deity or like it's just for knowledge and interesting.
I mean, I guess you could say the Lady in Shadow is our closest deity in reverence, but that's more of the sisters' point of view. We're more just of actual knowledge, physical knowledge, things that are tangible.
And how are your trials going, Sakara?
I'm hoping that they're gonna near their end. Like I said, we have the tournament coming up, so I'm feeling good. As long as I can manage well, then perhaps this will be my year.
What's involved in these tournaments?
I mean, pretty much you just take out the other person, and if you make your way to the upper echelons of the tournament, then you're allowed to, well, yeah, I'm pretty sure you know more about what's down in the Undercroft than I do.
Well, who are you up against right now?
No one. We haven't actually started yet.
Oh.
So you have to, all of the monks have to go up against the Grey Sisters, or do you go up against each other?
Oh no, we go against each other. But the Grey Sisters do their own initiations back at their kind of citadel, and then from what I gather, we're supposed to go in together.
Yes.
For less than one of them. But I mean, a lot of people who are interested, so We'll see. No, but come on, it's more exciting if you see it. And he leads y'all through, and as you get closer, there are these rather large sand pits, like sand cutouts. Imagine like if you were at the playground playing in the sand, it's just a large wooden cutout filled with like a volleyball court without a net. And inside there are lots of different individuals sparring. As you kind of gather around and you look into one of the pits, there is one elven woman who is kind of more of a Tai Chi style battle, moving very, very elegantly as the other opponent is rapidly coming in with mad, just abrasive attacks, but she just continually deflects and moves. And as you see, she draws in the sand itself different designs with her feet as she turns and moves. And then finally, as the opponent comes closer, she kind of releases her palm backwards, and this snake-like flame curls over her arm and just like splatters into his chest, sending him off the ground as the fire just kind of erupts across his chest. Further down, you see another warrior who's more in like eyes closed, blindfold across, as multiple people come in and are making attacks with bow staffs and Seuss and Fix, and they come in, and as they begin making their attack, you see a light beam underneath the blindfold itself, and then as the body expands, just these black tendrils erupt from the ground and just start grabbing bodies, flinging them different directions. It's the weirdest tournament style you have ever seen. But it's exciting.
Yeah.
Hugh is absolutely enamored by the first elven woman and just like stayed behind and like didn't keep following and is just watching her move.
You like her, don't you?
I mean, how could you not? Look at her.
That's Fiona. Fiona is she's one of the Solaires.
Slayers? What is that?
Oh, sorry. I keep forgetting. Y'all don't understand. She trains under Master Malola. They are the Order of the Blinding Light. Solaires, they work with more natural energies. And so
I mean, that's a natural energy right there.
Well, she plays around with light. So it's her bending the light around her to enhance her attacks.
Well, she's incredible. Oh, what I wouldn't give to move like that. Wow.
You can go train with her. I'm sure she would love to teach you some stuff, but you'd have to.
I mean, that would be awesome, but I don't have the energy right now. I'm still pretty exhausted, and I gotta stay with my group. But man, bucket list.
Well, I mean, you know where to find her. She stays here pretty much all the time. Kind of a workaholic.
Well, I mean, you don't get to that level of skill just taking any breaks.
She's not that great. I've taken her down.
You?
I've almost taken her down.
Okay, well.
We are taking her down. She is really good.
I mean, yeah. Well.
But everybody has a weakness.
What's hers?
I don't know. I just wish I could look at her and see, but I can never see what it is.
Lactose intolerance.
The silent killer.
Peanut allergy.
Syria. As you begin being led into the front, and those grand oak doorways, large doors are now wide open, and you see large amounts of traffic moving back and forth as there are different monks with those regalia of green, some green, gray, and that red orangish color. And they begin moving back and forth. And then through the legs, you see a tiny half-organ figure in a large, oversized breastplate with that willow tree emblem on it. And she just sees Kelnis. It's Kelnis!
Dorothea!
and she picks up a rock and she throws it at you.
Can I catch it?
Of course you can.
Okay.
As you catch it, it is your rock doll that she has crafted for you. Yep.
Dorothea, you made me one. Yes.
I did.
It's beautiful.
You like it?
I love it.
And she kind of pulls up her own, and so you have your two rock dolls. Starts banging them together. She's like,
Yeah.
they're kissing because they like each other.
Oh.
Can I have it?
Of course.
Thank you.
What
Did you see your
Vox?
card?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, good.
Oh, I was gonna say Vox. He just kind of quietly is like muttering to himself, but he just kind of like loudly states, "So, what's the deal with that willow? The willow tree? It's pretty. Like, what's the symbol? You know, what's
Dorothea, this is my friend Vox.
Hey,
Vox, this is my friend Dorothea.
Hi.
Hey there. I'm Voxel. Voxel Wayers. So,
Hi,
Nice to
I'm
meet you.
Dorothea.
Dorothea. Oh, looks like you've been enjoying this place.
Yeah,
Having fun?
I mean, it's better now because the people are fighting.
It's better because people are fighting.
Well, yeah,
Hmm.
we set down a lot because we couldn't go outside because there were people outside.
What kind of people? Let's say.
Dead people.
Ooh.
But now they're gone, so the sun came back out, and Nehemiah said I could go outside and play, but I had to stay close to Sikara. But Sikara likes to go to the pits to watch the people fight, so I went to the pits to watch the people fight. Kelnis, are you going to stay here for long?
I don't know yet, Dorothea.
Sounds like a charming place. I like it.
Are you
Yes.
are you liking to watch the fights?
I really like watching the fights.
Maybe you could be one of those people one day, Dorothea.
And then she goes running into the building.
Oh boy, that's a pleasant one right there. That's for sure. Whew.
Who's gonna break the news?
You know what? We're gonna let her. I'm not gonna bring it up until she brings it up.
So,
Okay.
look, I haven't been with you guys for that long. One, what is this place? I mean, obviously, someone who started it, worships knowledge or whatever. What news are we breaking, and why is it a big deal? Also, Grey Sisters. I'm sorry, my memory's pretty fuzzy.
So, to the best of my knowledge, there's this like underground area, and we went there, which we weren't really supposed to, but Sakara thought the monk in charge was in trouble, so he ran down into this place, and there was this demon, and we fought the demon, and there was a mirror, and it was like a portal to another like parallel dimension, and then we had to figure out how to get out of the mirror. And so one of the monks in charge said that after they're initiated, or as part of their initiation, one Grey Sister and one member of the Salem Kadun go down there together through the mirror. So there's some interaction between the Grey Sisters and the monks here, but we kind of got the feeling from one of the masters that I don't know that they totally trust the Grey Sisters, which is good, but I'm a little worried about so many Grey Sisters coming here right now if they think the monks are a threat. So if they take out the monks, I feel like they have a little more freedom to do what they want with the world, which sounds like there's some not so fabulous things they have planned. Just based off in passing what Joslin said on our way out or you know what, Joslin didn't say anything, but you used dark magic, and some of the people there at Braska who were around you implied that they were waiting to use dark magic
For
for
a war.
for a predetermined event.
War.
And I
Like,
feel like the monks could help stop that from happening.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It's Brian Vox is just kind of like trailing off, like just like, oh, do they have a library here? Like books or anything like that?
They do. However, it's
It's-
very difficult to get to
And to get away from.
and to get out of. So their library is actually through the mirror in their initiation
Oh,
portal dimension.
hmm.
Oh,
So-
we're on the cure.
Yes.
That seems like a lot of work for any sort of knowledge about this place. Oh, well,
I mean, they were some pretty impressive books.
There were, and you could kind of ask it any question you wanted.
And the book would come to you with the answer.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And Raystrom was so smart, and
He was
just,
really good at finding the right books, asking the right questions.
yeah.
oh wow. Lead the way. I mean, let's talk to Nehemiah, but I'd love to read up on this. This sounds quite in depth.
I think we should ask and see if they have any books outside of
The mirror.
the
Yeah.
parallel dimension that almost got us killed. Oh yeah, there's a dragon down there.
There is.
You don't want to go there.
Oh, ooh, ooh.
Oh, that's what the tree is too, right?
Down in the Undercroft, yes.
Oh, we
What?
should ask how that tree is doing.
We should.
A tree underground? Like, what?
Yeah, they don't sound like they're making-
There's a magic tree down there. We should probably find Nehemiah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a tree underground. Just plants. Whatever. Yeah, let's lead the way. Like,
As you maneuver back through the crowds, you get to that trellis latticework kind of doorway that you went through before. Open it up, and as the door slide, you do see seated at a small little low-lying desk the elder monk Nehemiah, who kind of looks at you, begins to stand. Good friends, welcome. What brings you back to our lonely monastery?
We're running away from Braska.
To be frank. Yeah, we
Joslin doesn't like me. Do you remember that?
I do.
She really doesn't like us.
She really doesn't like me either.
Also, we're going to get to the important part, but before I forget, do you know anything about Fairwind's Folly?
Only that it's in the northeastern part. A little ways, maybe a few hours travel from the outreaches of the canopy.
Okay. So there might be a problem. I think the Grey Sisters of Braska are planning a war with dark magic.
Yeah.
You don't seem surprised.
Well, I'm more curious about what proof do you have?
Well, we were in Braska, and we were trying to escape Braska, and this is our new friend Vox.
hey,
Vox,
Their friend Dakkar.
and our old friend Dakkar. He's the one we got the cure for. He's not stoned anymore. But Vox disguised himself as Joslin, so we could try to escape, and used magic, which surprised. I don't remember if they were initiates or other sisters, but surprised them that he used that she used that type of magic, and they said the person said something to the effect of, "I thought we weren't using dark magic until the war," or something like that. I don't know if anyone remembers what was said better, but it seemed a little alarming that they had a war planned and they were going to release and use types of magic they hadn't been using before.
And it's just a little concerning that now there are going to be a large
Number of
influx
sisters.
of sisters here.
Here, where you seem to have a very down-to-earth perspective of Joslin.
She's a bitch.
That was it.
Got the scars to prove it.
I think she's also a bit of a conniving bitch.
She's always been one.
Have
Yeah,
you ever
Bill,
Like
been
on a grand scale of like, the entire island potentially being in danger.
That is
have you ever been to her tower?
Have I ever been? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the whole thing just feels like a death trap, and I mean, we all barely made it out alive.
Why were you there in the first place?
Dakkar's father is there.
Yes, I remember. But I was told that they were helping your father.
They were, and then they held us captive. We tried to escape being held captive, and then in the process of us escaping, I was captured, tortured viciously, and then they came back to help me escape, and we tried to escape again. So it's just pretty much we went there to escape.
I find this hard to believe that Dallin Adelhart would allow you to be tortured.
I mean, I never saw him or heard from him. It was all Joslin.
Has anyone heard from Adelhart in a while? No.
I haven't.
No. I mean,
As a reminder, Adelhart was the person that y'all met with whenever you first arrived at Brosco.
When we first got there, yeah. He was the one who was with your dad, Dakkar.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying I haven't heard from him.
But since then, no, have not heard from him. And no, he wasn't the one torturing me, and I don't believe he's the one who gave the orders. All I kept hearing was that it was Joslin.
Well, Jocelyn takes orders from him, so I don't know. I'll put some doubts on it.
yeah, I would say the best thing is, yeah, I wouldn't have to.
But we also didn't see him at all, and we were in the upper levels. I mean, we saw him when we were first there, but then we were jailed, tried to escape. And then I was in an amulet, and when I was released from the amulet, it was Joslin. There was no sign of Adelhart anywhere. It was Joslin in charge. I'm not saying he wasn't there. I'm just saying there was this huge fight between groups of people, and he was nowhere to be found. Were we not in his study? Or were we on a different?
The first time y'all met, y'all went up the elevator, and he was right there.
Mhm.
That's where he showed you the car's father. Y'all never went up the steps to actually go up to the upper
Okay.
part of the tower.
I'm just saying I think you should be cautious, and because of your viewpoint of Joslin, I thought it was important to tell you that this was our experience, and this is what we heard from one of her underlings.
Well, I can tell you, my very, very inquisitive knight, I've always kept tabs on what goes on with the Grey Sisters because they are conniving, as you say. However, they're still a force to be reckoned with. And tradition still dictates that our order and theirs need each other. So if you've come to Salem Kadun looking for aid to overthrow our allies, I'm sorry to tell you we can't.
No, I was not looking for help to overthrow them. I just wanted to give you the heads up that something very serious might be happening soon.
I would say this much. Master Nehemiah, just recently started following these chaps, and I'd say follow your hunch. That would be the best thing I could suggest, because from my interaction with Joslin, she's a bitch.
Totes.
Oh, we need to get this one some rest. Is there
Yeah.
any way that we can find a place to eat and some lodging or something like that? Because when I ran into them at the tower, this one was in real bad shape, and we definitely need to see to it that this one gets some rest.
By all means, Salem Kadun is at your disposal. I'm sure we can find some monks. Make yourself comfortable, and at least know that while you are here, you reside under my protection. And as you may well remember, he kind of looks over in the distance, and by the fireplace there is a young Dorothea playing with her dolls. Although it is imperial directive that our order eliminate any unauthorized magic users, you are welcome to seek refuge here.
Thank you.
It's much appreciated.
Thank you.
And he kind of sends over some of the monks on the outside, and they do escort you to some rooms where you are welcome to take another day's rest if you need it.
That sounds great to me.
Gonna do that.
Go ahead and take your rest. You can remove one more point of exhaustion.
Hey.
Getting closer.
Almost a real girl.
Almost a full person.
You wake the next day and are treated to a small breakfast. Dorothea spends a little bit of time playing around, chasing after a small little cat that she's kind of cornered within the interior of Salem Kadun itself. At which point, Nehemiah does come up to you, Q. You look much better today.
I feel much better today. Thank you. I appreciate you allowing us to stay, and I know we came in with a lot of heavy information and a lot of accusations. So it really does mean a lot that you allow us to stay.
By all means, we won. We have no real masters here. It's just service.
I do have some news, Nehemiah, about Dorothea's person.
Let's not discuss that quite yet.
Okay. Well, then, can I ask something else? Have you heard of anything happening at the Zaget?
Actually, that's why I came to you. While it would be more prudent for me to speak to your Dragonborn companion, I felt like maybe you would be able to give me some guidance before we do. Takara did make a trip over the last week to the outskirts of the Zaget, where he did encounter your friend Tegan, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
This Dragonborn recently been named a knight, and did deliver some unnerving news. I was in search of Kelnis. And he hands you a little rough piece of parchment.
Okay.
You gonna read it?
Yes.
So on it, it's really short. It is in common. And it is signed Tegan. And it says, Asira is being watched. Velasa has been missing for a few days.
Was this, I don't know, did anybody check up on this, or are we just not, I don't know, are you sending help?
What help would we be able to provide to a Dragonborn army?
I don't know.
Any access system could be seen as an invasion.
I guess that's true. I worry. The last interaction I had with the Zaget, I was with someone, and well, first of all, they kind of tricked me into going back to the Zaget, but they truly thought that it was the safest place to be. But they were attacked by somebody, a Dragonborn, who they weren't there. It was a Dragonborn, and they were attacking us, but it was almost like they weren't looking at us. Like they didn't see what they were doing. I don't know if maybe they have some kind of control over the Dragonborns, the soldiers, or I don't know. I worry.
Master Corral, which point the half-orc gentleman who you saw last time comes over in his red-orange robes. Do you still have the tome that you retrieved from Merendi? Yes, you might. And he passes over a small book. The last time you were here, unfortunately, you and your companions stumbled into a rather sacred spot and miraculously appeared alive and well, but with quite a few stories of interest. I had my masters go in and do some research. We have a few leads that we'd like to share with your party, but one in particular matches something that you spoke of. And he pulls out and shows you a roughly translated script. The writing itself is unknown to you, but there are a few words that are scribbled on the side that you can tell someone has been trying to decipher it, and it's not going very fast.
Okay.
What languages do you speak, Kat?
I speak Common, Elvish, Orc, and Thieves' Cant.
The area that has been circled that has been figured out says, I got this right. Tranquil mind, not neglect.
Nehemiah, what language is this?
Not quite sure. Something old, something evil. We dug around and used as many references as we can, but it's not this page that troubles me. But maybe we should wait for your companions to wake up.
Okay.
If you could meet me in my study when you're ready.
Okay.
Oh, and if you could pass on some good news. We received word today from Joslin Reece. She will not be attending our tourney. She is preoccupied elsewhere. So rest easy. As long as you're here, you should be able to blend it.
Hope so. Thank you.
Look forward to our meeting, and you begin to walk away.
Okay.
What are the rest of you doing?
I'm going to be waking up and just kind of breathing easy for a little bit. I mean, not super easy, but just somewhat comfortable. Kind of walking around, checking the sights.
Vox is gonna try to. He woke up and he's kind of curious about the sword, and so he's kind of just examining it a little more in depth and seeing what he can find out.
As you look closer and closer, it is just a normal sword. There's nothing magical,
Yeah,
really spirited about it.
but it's a
The poison in it, so it's a regular weapon. The poison does 2d6 poison damage if they fail a Constitution saving throw.
okay.
Constitution saving throw, though, is based off of your spell save.
So that's cool. Okay.
So whatever this poison is it's magical in essence, where it actually is imbued and enforced by the wielder. So the stronger your will is, the stronger the poison is.
Ooh, I like that. Cool.
Dakkar, are you awake?
But yeah, I'm
Mage hand to poke him.
up.
Like-
You have wine mouth.
Mage had to like pull the blanket, so it's just like just pull everything up.
Mug's got some good stuff.
Well, whenever everybody feels up to it, we have to go meet with Nehemiah.
About?
I think some stuff is happening in the Zaget.
Oh,
He also said that Joslin is not coming to this whole shindig tournament thing.
Ooh, that's good.
that's
So-
good news.
That is good. Although, man, just the sound of her name, just hate it.
Heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, like not only that, like I can feel it in the scars. It just like,
Oh yeah, you probably. Ooh,
so
so sorry.
yeah.
Okay, wait.
So apparently Sakara went and visited.
But wait. Before we. Q, I know you were tortured there. There are a bunch of magic wielders. You're my friend. Did they... I don't even know what I want to ask. Like, we say her name and you know, feel it. Like,
I think it's more of like a built up anxiety thing where it's just like, oh.
it's not like, oh, maybe they cast a spell on you.
I don't know. No, I don't. I mean, I don't think so. I just, it
No
just
lasting effects like that.
hate it. I just
Okay.
hate it. And I mean, I'm naturally.
Well, you were
afraid.
tortured. Yeah.
Yeah,
I just,
but no.
I just
Not that
felt
not that I know of.
Okay.
Hey, Dakkar, wake up!
Oh, I'm up.
Wake up!
This is my usual, like.
Oh yeah, he always looks like that. His eyes always look like they're closed.
Is there a chance we can get some breakfast? I'm starving and
Yeah,
think
probably.
Like prepare some stuff for
There's
us.
food available to you.
Yeah.
mm,
But you were saying about the Zaget?
Yeah, so Nehemiah said that Sakara went recently and that Tegan gave him some information and it said Asira is being watched and Vilasa's been missing.
Did it say anything about Doxon?
No, nothing about Doxon. That's all it was. It was just a very like quick little, like there wasn't a lot of time. Also, I mentioned something about the Dragonborn that I saw when I was there with Tiana, and very quickly Nehemiah brought out a book in a language I can't read. Did he leave it with me? Okay. I don't know. It just
What is it?
shapes. I don't know. It wasn't.
Did he like say anything about what was in the book or what the book
He said they're
said?
trying to figure it out, but all they get right now out of all of the words on the page are tranquil mind, not neglect, which doesn't mean a lot. It doesn't mean anything. But
Well,
he
I'm
said
sure it means something.
not by itself. But I mean, he said whenever we are ready to go and meet him in his office. So,
I'm ready.
like right now? No?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm nervous.
I mean, I'm gonna make myself a breakfast plate.
You go to the Continental Breakfast and you get yourself taken care of.
Can you make me a waffle?
Are they in the
I
shape of
expected-
they're the shape of the island?
Yeah, it's 3 waffles and there's different sizes. Yeah.
The syrup just goes everywhere. It's terrible.
It just falls. The
Wow.
waffle's like
Is it
above
the-
the plate.
So that's how the island works. It makes so much more sense now.
So
No,
yeah,
listen to the bottom of it.
you get your food and you make your way over to Nehemiah's study where he is currently overseeing some notes and poems on his desk. Please enter.
Hi.
Good morning.
Well, you said to come and see you whenever we all woke up. We were all up. So
Did you relay the information?
I did. It's worrisome. Very worrisome information. So I think we're just kind of looking for next steps.
I was relieved to know that Joslin wasn't on her way here, so
Me
made
too.
me feel a lot better.
I feel like we should rejoice in any good news we can come across these days.
Agreed.
Do you have
what's
more
this about?
information?
Yeah, what's this about? A book? It's
You had mentioned an odd irregularness to the tree in the undercroft below this monastery.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And in your research, you came across a name. Chronatree, correct?
Mm-hmm.
We dug into that more, the masters seeking any thoughts. They could barely find information on it, as it seems to be a very dated reference for a name. But then Master Corral did uncover a bit of information. I started to share it with your friend Mora. It's something that's older than we can translate here. However, it's the image on the cover that struck me. And as he closes and shows and kind of turns the tome, it is a heavenly illuminated in gold leaf, and it is an exact recreation of Dakkar's tree with the hole inside, and seated crisscross is an individual within the tree itself.
Cars like you?
What?
You can see why
That's familiar.
this seems like it'd be a point of interest.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say I'm interested.
what do we know about this tree that makes it so special? And
Besides, it gave birth to me.
well,
We've already established the tree did not give birth to you.
it just sounds. I mean, this tree sounds like I've heard different things about this tree before. At least from what I've read, I've heard of magical trees. maybe. Just something, just anything, just what you know about this, because clearly this. Look, I'm not from around here, and I'm trying to understand stuff, and I'm looking for stuff that looks like home. What can you say about this?
So from a non-magic user, what I understand is that these trees allow magic to exist. Is that right, Dakkar?
These trees hold up the island?
That too.
With
Because the
magic?
island being above is magic. So if the trees were not there, there would be no magic on the island, and the island would no longer be suspended up in the air. Also, one of the trees, the tree at this monastery, was
Corrupted.
unwell. So we were trying to figure out how to maybe save the trees. Yeah, that's the extent of Q's understanding of the trees.
Perhaps I could eliminate.
Please do.
See, we were able to pull out a few more details. You see, these trees act more like anchors. They pull in magical energies that are harnessed in the environment around them, and they pass them across planes. 3 in particular. From what we gather, there's our mortal coil, the Feywild, the Abyss, and then centered at the midpoint that these 3 converge, a new territory that was unknown to us. All the texts that speak of this converging moment in these spaces refer to it as Arenthal. 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 Thank you, Joslin and Hovda, for playing. You can leave the bit.
I will win this spelling bee.
I got it.
I got it too.
Apparently, when the trees are corrupted or destroyed on one plane, the connection is severed. So by destroying all of these Chrono trees on our existence, would in fact destroy magic in our own coil. However, what it really is doing is negating any energies that come from the contrasting plane of existence. What kind of repercussions go beyond the loss of magic, I'm not sure.
Go
ahead.
Don't the Grey Sisters have an issue with magic?
Do they?
I mean,
to say an issue would be unfair. They do have issues with the willing magic without control. However, divine magic, natural magic, there's a fine line between the two. The Grey Sisters cross that line fairly often, but they use their powers to ensure that others don't cross it whenever they choose.
So they're the ones that make sure any magic used goes through them first, right? So if you were to cut off any of the magic in that area, or, it would just it basically just leaves anyone that's not the Grey Sisters at the mercy of them. So it doesn't just put them in, it doesn't just give them all the power. Like,
it's a good theory. One that we are looking into.
I have a question about the corruption or the destroying of a Chrono tree. And maybe you have an answer, maybe not. But have you been down to the Undercroft to see the state of the Chrono tree?
That I have.
How would you describe it?
By all means, it still looks and acts like a living tree. But it is clearly not right.
And in your studies of the tree, have you come across anything, I don't know, any remedies for a Chrono tree that might be unwell or corrupted or dying?
As I said, good news is always welcome. And in fact, we did come across one solution, although it seems a bit obscure. There are two possible ways to navigate around this corruption. As the corruption itself must be coming from one of the existing planes that converge. Whether or not it's a Feywild curse, an abyssal malady, or something unseen from this Arenthal. That we are unsure of. However, if it is not from the Feywild, there is a means for us to enter in from the opposite end of the portal. We can make it to the Feywild, and then enter the tree from their end. We could fight off the malady from within the tree. To do this, however, requires a rather tedious and, dare I say, dangerous expedition and ritual. Master Malola did quite an extensive amount of research. Apparently what you need is to soak a dragon heart in a pool that has been blessed by holy water. Thus will open up a portal. Well, that or, I mean, if you were able to find, what was it, an Eladrin warrior, you could send them through the tree directly.
Yeah, I don't know where we're gonna find one of those.
I don't even know what that is.
Sounds cool.
I heard you're really dumb.
So, but if we knew a way to get into the Fae, we could do that, go that way?
Absolutely. You see,
Why we?
Well, I mean,
5 feathers.
yeah, I mean, that was kind of like the whole thing. Like, I mean, we have to save the trees.
So, you said these trees are ancient, like they've been around forever. Like, is there, I mean, is this the only like knowledge we have of them? Is just in these, few books, or,
I mean, there's bound to be more research, but research takes time.
yeah.
And as expansive as our libraries are, it does take quite a bit of discipline to get the information that you want. Your friends can tell you about that.
Yeah.
However, you're welcome to return to Marindi if you go through our trials.
Again, or the actual trials, like the.
Only a chosen few make it through the portal and are allowed access to our secrets.
Well, if we've already been through the portal, does that not mean we've already done the trials?
You tell me. Do you feel like you fully understood the path?
No. I mean, I know we made it out, but to be honest, couldn't tell you how.
All I can tell you is the paths I see ahead of you. You can stay here, fight in the tournament, prevail, travel into Marindi, learn all you want, but it will take time. Or you find the materials you need, travel to the Feywild, find this tree, and defeat whatever's inside.
Can I have a look at your book and see if there's maybe another way?
Tell me. Pass it over to you. What language do you speak, Dakkar?
Elvish, Sylvan, and Druidic.
You do not understand the writing.
Vox is just going to kind of look over and just take a glance at it.
What you got, Vox?
Common and Infernal.
It is an infernal.
Let me take a look at that. Let me see it. Let me see it.
Oh, sure.
I'm going to need you all to leave now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vox will take a look at it. Just
So the script that they are currently translating, the full text reads, elemental force to hell in conjuring infernal spell. Flaming passion, not of one, darkened depths of tranquil mind. Breath of life, not to neglect. Ore and foundry, a new beginning. Quartered realms of oldest power, force in nature too shall cower.
that, but in my voice. Yeah.
Vasquez, once again, please, with the accent.
Start working on it. Elemental powers. So yeah, Vox will relay that to the group, and just he's examining this book pretty furiously.
I
Not just
hate
this book.
poetry.
This is
Nehemiah.
Does it say
Thanks,
anything about
Vox.
me in there?
Dakkar.
What?
Wait, what?
Sorry, say it again.
Well, I'm just saying, Vox, you really helped out Nehemiah here.
oh well. Glad I could be of some help. This is. Could I see this tree? No. The trial. What?
By all means.
I'd love to. That's something. I don't have to run to like a trial to do this, right?
No. The Undercroft is not, well, not as sacred since you have already entered it. So, by all means, you know where to go. Just please leave the mirror covered.
Of course.
Yeah.
You will. Don't worry.
All right. Y'all heading out?
Yeah, I guess we'll lead Vox and Dakkar to the tree.
All right. You make your way outside, curving around to the southern end, where you find the closed fountain.
I don't remember how to open it.
I feel like I remember going through a small opening next to it or around the bottom. So I'm going to kind of search.
All right. Do an investigation check. The last time you were here, it
It
was
was already
open.
open.
Yeah.
I was like, Grace from those.
Oh. Oh, wait, hold on. I still have disadvantage on these. Oh, that's not bad either. Investigation, you said?
Yep.
12.
As you search, there is a fine, small groove on the outside of the statue that is actually pouring the water out of the fountain. And as you go to grab it, you can get your fingers underneath and you begin to pull. So give me an athletics check.
Oh, damn. 9.
You want to show me where to pull and I'll try?
Go for it, Vic.
Yeah, it's right here.
You said athletics.
Yes.
17.
Q kind of goes, and then
It's okay, Q. You're still tired.
Yeah, totally. It's because I'm tired.
doesn't take a nap. All right, so you make your way down the steps, eventually curving around into the large open tomb where you see those sarcophagi that are circled around the large standing tree. The vines itself have now pushed and broken into the stone sarcophagus all the way around, and you can see the exposed bodies that are now decaying away from the elements as the tree is getting bigger, but it is still glowing that sickly green red.
See, Dakkar, this is what we meant.
The tree's sick or corrupted.
As you approach and you step in, there is another person attending the tree. This is another one of the masters that you met earlier on, clothed in gray robing with gray tassels that fall down, and the face itself is completely obscured except for a small cutout, as he has these almost mummified wrappings that cover the entire face. This is Master Seuss.
Seuss.
Dr. Seuss.
Yeah.
So, how's
Good morning, sir.
the tree?
Pretty corrupted.
Yeah. So what?
Here it is, Vox.
Yeah, here's the tree.
It's lovely. Sick or not, it's quite beautiful.
It's I feel like it's more beautiful when it's healthy because you see like each of the 4 seasons reflected in it, and
Yeah. This one is just, it's just kind of sick. Dakkar, I don't know. What do you think?
While they're talking to Dakkar, Vox is going to try to move a little bit farther away, just out of sight, and he's just going to try to see if he can check out this tree in his book.
Okay.
Shadows.
Roll an Arcana check.
That is a 13.
Nothing.
I'm going to use. Hold on. I have things. Let's see.
You got that sword.
Hold on.
Stab it.
No, I have a what is it? Dark One's Unlock.
Okay.
So I can add a D10 to this. Come on, baby. Oh, thank goodness. That is a 6. 19.
Nothing.
Okay then. Lovely.
I don't know, Dakkar. I mean, this is kind of like what we're here to do.
I mean, it definitely looks unhealthy, so the only thing I can think of, unless we want to go kill a dragon, is going to the...
Figuring out a way to go to the Feywild.
Was Zepta told in the Deadwood?
What was that?
English?
You completely like.
It's abyssal. It's abyssal.
Zepta told us about the portal in the Deadwood.
The portal to the Feywild.
Yes.
Okay.
Where, well, maybe it's not to, maybe it's from. But if it's from, it could be to where Jamila came through.
I mean, I'm willing to try anything, but I just
Dakkar,
I worry about the killing a dragon for its heart part of all of this. I mean, I know where to find a dragon. It's right through the mirror. Yes, there's a dragon in there.
There's a dragon in there?
Yes. I feel like I told you this, Dakkar.
Maybe.
Yeah.
My mind is still been a little foggy.
Dakkar, you have a tree like this where you're near your hometown.
Yeah, where I was born.
I mean, would you feel comfortable touching this tree to see if you get a certain vibe from it, or?
Yeah.
You touch it?
Yeah.
You touch the tree, and the center opens up.
Okay, take your hand off of it.
Wait, but
I know. Take it off. Take it off. Take it off.
Still open.
What just happened?
Well,
I don't know.
I know, but I don't know how much we trust everyone.
Then we know who we can trust and who we can't.
I'm gonna look down and see if there's like a rock or something near me.
Put it in the chat.
There's probably not a rock, but
But you could grab a bone.
I would say there's probably a bit of the stone sarcophagus that has been broken down where you have smaller chunks.
Okay, I'm gonna take one of those and I'm gonna throw it inside the tree.
Okay.
To see if it stays in the tree or if it like goes somewhere else.
You throw it and it lands and just sits
On the ground?
on the shelf of the tree in the opening.
Hugh, trees don't eat rocks.
I know that, but
I just. Sorry, go ahead.
Is it like? Do we want to go inside?
I want to look back at Master.
You look over and the rock has now fallen on the ground.
I want to look back at Master Seuss and see what he's thinking of all of this, or noticing, or reacting.
He is staring right at Dakkar.
Has it ever done that before?
I don't know. It's my first time here.
Dakkar.
No, not you, Dakkar.
Oh.
Master Seuss. So.
No.
Okay, well, Master Seuss, I'm hoping you'll use discretion in describing what you've just seen and who you describe it to. Have you heard what the book says?
You're a ladrin, aren't you?
Yeah, but it's not widely known.
No, she's a dragonborn.
You have the means of communicating with these. Why do you not?
I have what means?
You can talk.
That's not the card. That's the connection.
You can talk to these trees. Why have you not?
I think they more talk to me. I don't feel like I've ever talked to them.
You not try.
We'll try.
Just pretend like it's one of my birds.
Well, I mean, at least tell the tree to get better.
Yeah, good.
Or let it know we wish it would get better. Like, get well soon.
Hey, tree, is there anything you need?
It might work better if you touch it.
Oh. Or not touch the tree. And I'll think about talking to it.
You cannot talk to a tree like you would talk to us.
How do you talk to a tree?
Ask him. He's
How do you talk to a tree?
Carefully?
Well, I mean, your tree at home, what do you do to talk to? Well I'm not going to say talk. How do you commune with that tree?
You go inside the tree and you meditate.
Yeah.
So I think you have to go inside this tree and meditate. But I'm a little nervous if you go inside this tree, we're just not going to see you again.
Don't go alone.
Can we all go in there?
We can go too.
We can try.
You look at the opening, as you've always known with these trees. It's pretty much one comfortably where the tree can close.
Well,
if it's never done this before, and our little friend here is the one that can clearly interact with it, maybe he needs to go. Like, I mean, it could be a risk, but I mean, like, we went through that other portal, and that was, it was a big waste of time. But I mean, I don't think the tree would hurt him. I mean, he's clearly the one that just made the thing open, and I mean, this guy over here has never seen that happen before. So, I would say, just give it a go. Why not?
We won't know if we don't try.
yeah.
What if keep touching trees on the other side, Voxel, if anything goes wrong?
Say that again.
You're saying just keep touching trees on the other side if anything goes wrong?
Well, mark the tree you came in through. That would help. But if you're the only one that can go through, then you're on your own. But
What if we just, I don't know, to make myself feel better,
I'm gonna
tie
try
some rope around your waist while you get into the tree. That way, if something happens.
Voxel's going to try to send Mage Hand through there, just to see what happens.
Okay, so you're tying a piece of rope
Around me.
Okay.
Tied around me and around Dakkar.
Okay.
Okay, so you're connecting Kelnis to Dakkar.
Mm-hmm.
And
this is my
Voxel, you cast
Ryan.
your hand and send the hand, and the hand goes into the tree. Okay,
And Dakkar, you're getting in the tree?
You have a floating hand in the tree.
Can I control it at all?
Right now you can.
So while it's floating in the tree, it's still movable? Well, there's some sort of connection, right? I mean, I can still move my hand and pull it back out.
But is your hand Eladrin?
There we go.
No, it's a hand.
Master Seuss, I know this is exciting and important information that Dakkar is Eladrin, but I don't think it would be wise for that news to travel to Joslin. Thank you. All right, Dakkar, I guess go
Starts
meditate.
texting it, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to hold on to the bag while I
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Sure. And Q is just gonna kind of like lock eyes with Dakkar as she's taking the bag and say, "Come back."
do my best.
Dakkar, you step into the tree, rope taut, and the tree does not close.
Well, aren't you supposed to meditate?
Oh, yeah. All right, I'm going to close my eyes and start going into a trance.
As you make your way into the trance, the boughs of the tree begin to close and clamp down, and they reform the outer bark. You go into that peaceful state, and then the tree begins to open up again. There is no rope attached to you.
Nude.
All you smell is brimstone and burning as a radiating orange light begins to flash across your face, and you feel the waves of heat smother across your forehead. You put your hands on the outside of the tree and you begin to push forward, and you see ripples of small magma-flowing rivers traveling. Occasionally, small, rickety man or creature-made bridges that carry over from these small pieces of land that puzzle together and seem to float upon the burning land below. And then you catch eye. Not one eye, thousands of eyes. As you look and gaze towards the sky itself, and there are lidless eyes that just cover the entire expanse of what would seem like a domed ceiling that is just the sky. But instead of stars, just limitless eyes gazing down upon you. And then across a few bridges, you see the creature turn. The armor gilded in gold, the halberd at its side as it slowly moves and begins traveling your direction, letting out the guttural scream as you see the demonic wings unfurl from behind the breastplate. And we're going to take a break right there. So everybody, go ahead and take 10, get what you got to get. And when we come back, Dakkar, roll some initiative. So, as the demon begins pulling through and sees you, he's going to use his full movement to dash. Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. It's going to go through that lava pool. No jumping, so it's going to take 1 point for damage.
Just one?
Oh, lava doesn't do anything.
I lied. It's immune. And that is its turn as it reaches you, and you see it coming at you with that heavy halberd ready to strike. What do you want to do?
I am going to... I'm going to cast Tile Wave.
Okay. That is a fail.
Woohoo! What am I rolling? 8. 16, 24 tidal wave damage.
How do you want to do it? No, I'm joking.
You
That was awful. That was a terrible thing to do.
bitch.
And it's knocked prone.
Okay, so yeah, he's down. Anything else you want to do?
Kill him.
Yes.
Finish
I would like to use my movement and start to teabag him. So am I still in the tree?
You are standing in front of it.
In front of it, okay.
Sorry, this is just out of curiosity. Is it closed off for him? Like, is it like...
It's open.
I'll use my movement to crawl back into the tree then.
Okay. So you crawl into the tree.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're using ascending spell, Joel? No. Alright. As you step in, he's going to use half his movement to step up. And he walks forward. And he reaches into the tree and attempts to grapple you. So contested. This will be athletics. Or you can use dex.
Dex. 10.
You rolled a natural 1 as he puts his hand in, and you just kind of maneuver out of the way as you're like full on backing up. It's like it's the T-Rex coming into the car on Jurassic Park. It's the overside, and you're just kicking and pushing and trying to get away. Second attack, same thing. Attempting to grab you with the other arm.
Am I making a save again?
Mm-hmm.
20, not natural.
20. You beat him by 2. Cannot get his hand around you, but his hands are just pushing through. It is now your turn.
It was like me with the puzzle game. I couldn't get my fat hands in there to plug it in.
You and Landrin are so oily.
It is your turn.
Ooh. I am going to. I'm gonna Sacred Flame him.
Okay.
Dex 14 save.
That is a fail.
Three radiant damage.
Ooh. Doing 3 more damage to him. Anything else?
That's my turn.
All right, he's attempting to grab. First one is a miss, no matter what. Second one, go ahead and roll.
An 8.
This time he is able to wrap around as he grabs onto your full leathers, and he has you completely grappled, and you are unable to get away. It is your turn.
I'll do. I can do Sacred Flame on him, right? While he's holding me?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll hit him with Sacred Flame again.
This is a success. He does not take damage.
That's my turn.
Right. So he's going to make a throw against you. I need you to do a... Actually, no, you can't get out of that one. I need you to roll a d4.
A 3.
3. As he grabs you, and he's going to throw you south, which means you're going to go 5, 10, 15 feet. You miss the lava, but you land on the ground, and you are prone. And then he's going to turn and start walking towards you. That is his turn. What are you doing, Dakkar?
Giving cat heart palpitations.
Yeah, I'll hit him with Sacred Flame again.
Yep. That is a success. Anything else?
No, that's my turn.
All right. He's going to maneuver around. Step back. And he's going to make his attacks against you, both of his attacks against you.
Do I give an opportunity attack?
If you want to try it.
I mean, I'll whack him with my stick. A 7.
Nope. First attack as he swings the halberd. That is a 20, not natural.
Yep.
Doing 11 points of slashing damage. Second attack. That is a 24, doing 6 points of slashing damage. As he just stabs and then slashes across and pulls back, and you feel these 2 gashes go across your chest. It is your turn.
I'm gonna shoot a guiding bolt to him. 13.
That is a miss, unfortunately. As you shoot it, and he just hits the halberd and kind of sends it off. And as it hits the metal of the halberd, it just deflects and goes a different direction.
That's my turn.
All right, 2 more attacks. First one's a miss. Second one is also a miss. As you duck under the first one, and then he comes back to slab, and you step to the side, and it hits the ground. And as he retracts it, is your turn.
I'll go ahead and cast Sacred Flame on him again.
That is a success.
That's my turn.
2 more strikes, because he's still in range. That is going to be a 18 to hit. Doing 10 points of slashing damage. Second attack. A 9 will not hit.
Get out of there!
Go back home.
I'm gonna cast Tidal Wave at him again.
Okay.
Dex 14 save.
He fails. And on the die, 12 total.
14. Damage.
14. As the second wave, you just start getting slashed and just gutted by this halberd. And as he digs back to go again, you just throw your hands in the air, and out of the ground, whatever moisture is available just pours forth, creates the tidal wave, and then just slams into him. As he staggers back just a little bit, almost dropping the halberd, he looks back at you, and he gets ready to strike again. Anything else?
Well, he's prone since he failed.
Yep.
So I'm going to...
He's going to try to attack you at disadvantage. That was a natural 20 on the die, but the other one was a 5. So it is a miss.
God.
I think I moved 30.
Okay. Anything else?
I'm going to use... I'll do 3 die of the bomb at Summer Court.
Okay.
And that's it.
The creature stands up and drops the halberd and then reaches behind himself and pulls out a large, heavy crossbow. And is going to make 2 shots. Or actually, nope, just 1 shot because it's a heavy crossbow. First shot. That is going to be 18 to hit.
Yep.
As the bolt strikes you, doing 7 points of slashing damage, or piercing damage. As you were just Boromired, like straight through one of the shoulders. And then it's going to move after it stood up. There's damage. Your turn.
I'm going to hit it with another Tidal Wave.
That is a natural 19 on the die.
$19 half.
You rolled a 19?
No, it's a save.
I know. I said 19.
Yeah, it's half as much on a save.
I know, but you got to tell me the damage. I won't know what it is.
Oh, that's what I said. I said 19 half. Like whatever 19 is half.
Okay.
That was confusing.
All right. As the tidal wave once again hits, and you see the creature is down on the ground, and you can see its muscles are barely able to move. The amount of water sprayed out has now caused a huge amount of steam to rise up, and it begins to obscure the battlefield.
I'm gonna move away and use 3 more die at the bottom of the thermal court.
Okay. He's going to stand up, move his 3 that he can, and then he's going to shoot at disadvantage because he can barely see. That's another natural 20 on the die. The other one is an 8. So that would be a 12 total.
That's a miss.
What do you want to do?
Can I get the damn tree?
Thank you.
What?
That thing.
I'm gonna cast Spike Growth.
Okay, where? How big of an area is it?
It's a 20-foot sphere.
20-foot sphere?
Yes.
All right.
20-foot radius. Yeah, ground 20-foot radius central point. Yeah, sphere.
Where do you want it? Is
I
it
don't
radius
think
or
it
is
would grow on a.
You said radius?
It's a 20-foot radius. Yes.
Holy crap. There you go. That's a huge spear. Where do you want it?
Down the scotch. Over a scotch.
You gotta be more specific. I don't know where your overs are.
You can also control the screen, Hovda.
Are
Can
these
I?
things called left
Yes.
and right?
This is the technology that we paid for.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, thank you for that. All right, so the spike growth goes, and now the ground is covered in those spikes.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm gonna use. Is this like cliff behind me, or what's going on over here?
So that is a wall, an escalated wall. You'd have to climb it.
Okay. And is this wall here too?
Yep.
Yep. Your options are run south or run to a bridge.
I'll move up to here, and that'll be my turn.
It's probably gonna go what? So I don't know.
He's going to attempt to move in 15, 20, 25, 30.
I didn't realize what time it was.
Takes damage though, doesn't he? Because he runs
He takes 2d4 for every 5 feet.
5, 10, 15, 20.
I'm gonna just use my teach. So
Right.
we don't have to like run out of using.
So 10d4.
Yes.
And the only reason why he's going through it is because he cannot see the ground.
Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 18, 21 damage.
21 damage just from spike growth. All right. His turn. As he now can see a clear view of you, and he pulls up and he aims the heavy crossbow. That is a 12 on the die.
That is a miss.
He's going to attempt to move. 5, 10, 15. That'll get him there. That's 2 points of movement. So 44.
369, 13.
Okay. As he emerges, you see this Terminator-like effect of the smoke is just, or the steam is covering the expanse of the territory you can't see through, and you just hear the stomping of the feet and the bridges swaying over these magma fields. And then as he kind of steps through, you see this just everything is being burned off, pushed off. He is beaten up, bruised, and his feet are just gnarled from being torn apart by these spikes. Your turn.
I am going to Sacred Flame him.
That is a 5 on the die. Roll some damage.
8 radiant damage.
8 radiant damage. We'll do it. So walk me through how you want to end this.
Like, as he's coming through, like, picking crap out of his feet and all over, like, his body, like, I'm just gonna make those wounds that are, like, bleeding, like, start to glow, like, with my holy energy from his negative energy and just blow him up.
You seep in that Dakkar goodness, that ooey goodness of Dakkar, and it creeps into the feet, and you just see the blood vessels erupting the divine light through the legs as it just implodes, and you see the legs split open. It's like a hot dog that was in the microwave and just split as the
Keep
body,
in the microwave.
the body just
I meant
peels
30
apart,
seconds, not 30 minutes!
and then heavily falls to the ground, sending the whole earth into a nice little shape. As soon as the body hits, all the eyes in the sky begin to blink at different rates. And you just see changes in the color of all the eyes as you see magenta, green, orange, black, gray, teal. Like, they just keep changing colors as they peer down on you. What are you going to do?
I'm going to go investigate the body real quick.
Okay. As you go over, roll an investigation check.
Hovda,
I'm
if
gonna
you
kill
die, I'm gonna
next time I
murder
see
you.
13.
13. It is a huge chunking piece of armor wrapped around this demonic-looking creature. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
13.
All right. You take 21 points of psychic damage. That would put you right there. What are you doing?
I'm going to make my spike growth go away. And I'm going to cast Cure Wounds 2nd level on myself and move back towards my tree.
Are you going the same path that you came over?
Dakkar!
Is this lava open or is this a stream?
There's one way to find out.
I'll go back the way I came then.
Back the way you came.
Dakkar! Kelnis is using a Rocky Talkie.
Kelnis, are you here?
Or
Nope,
Talkie
nothing
Rocky.
comes through.
Damn it.
Right, so that's your full movement?
Yeah.
Okay. Make another wisdom saving throw.
Be wise.
11.
You take, that's cocked, 10 more points of psychic damage. It's your turn.
Is this like, would this be inside my tree?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to cast Cure Wounds 2nd level again on myself.
Okay.
Ooh, pretty good. And then I will phase step in front of my tree and use 5 movement to get inside.
As you get inside the tree, roll a wisdom saving throw.
24.
Dang.
All right, you take half damage.
Oh!
That's 12 reduced to 6. But you are now inside of your tree.
And I'm going to just go to my happy place.
This is a very tough thing for you to do, to calm yourself and go in. So I need you to do a Constitution saving throw.
$15.
You've been in a lot of stressful situations before, and this one is by far one of the worst experiences of your life. But you're able to calm your heart down and drift into that meditation state as you hear the boughs of the tree begin to slowly cover. And the light that's been emanating this disco effect of different lights begins to close away, and you just get on the outsides of your eyelids small flashes, and then dark and
I
black.
forgot to mark the tree.
The door opens up
I hate
again.
you. I hate you. I hate you.
Back in the Undercroft, you saw the branches close, and the rope is still hanging from the tree itself, and you wait. There seems to be no sign at all of whether it was successful or not. You have no idea of the dangers that Dakkar just went through. However, as 4, 5, 6 minutes, 1 hour, 3 hours go by, you begin to panic, not knowing when Dakkar will exit the tree. He's never taken this long. And that's when you see it. The tree itself begins to ebb and flow with this yellowish hue as it travels up the veins of the roots, pushes forward through the bark, and the bark begins to branch off and crack as the dust-like, soot-colored bark that had taken over begins to fall apart, and the greenish red tint is now filled with vibrant viridian green. Oranges, yellows, reds that begin to slowly fall from one corner. One that branches out with winter dead shapes. Another one that reaches out in great green plumage as you see the 4 seasons once again billowing through this hall. And then it opens. And attached to the rope is your friend Dakkar Malkoa. Very beaten up, bleeding, but alive. And that's where we're going to end today.
Gosh.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
I want to cry.
Oh my gosh. And we have like, what, 2 weeks before we meet again? Oh,
Yep.
Christmas quest.
You have discovered... We're not changing the rules, Vic. You have discovered one surefire way to purge any corruption from a Chrono tree. Now, what lies on the other side of the other tree, that's for you to figure out. Or find a better way to get more people to go with you.
Let's kill that
Oh
dragon.
my god.
Dakkar, you did it though.
You did it!
You
I'm
did
so proud of you.
Holy crap, dude!
Even though half of that I was like, oh, he's given up.
No, like you can't like go on hot as a spellcaster.
I know that. I like in my mind, I know that. But like emotionally, I was like, oh, he's given up. This is it. Like he's not
Accepted
gonna
this
want to be friends anymore in real life.
Ooh.